Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing: single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show here from the ABV Barrel Shop where I am podcasting solo as I'm going to go and read some stories from the Bourbon News. What's going on, gang? So the reason why I am doing this show by myself, I've got a couple shows that I need to get done before I leave for Key West. Going to be leaving there in a couple days. Love Key West. If you've never been there, the food is great down there. The culture is awesome. It's a very safe place to go, which is nice. Beaches, not so much. You think of Florida, you always think of beaches. They do have beaches down there. I just don't think that they're very nice or worth going to. And maybe there's some good ones near the fort or something like that. Fort Zachary's down there. I haven't been in that part of the island or anything like that, so I don't know about that. But it's just a lot of fun things to do. It's adult and not adult like going to strip clubs and stuff like that. And maybe some of that stuff's done there. I don't even know. But what I mean by that is there's just not a lot of kids. So to me, when you get to the age where you have kids, you kind of go into that kid mode where you go to places that they like to go. But when you get past that, and my daughter is 28 years old, so she's not a kid by any means, I kind of like to go into places that don't cater to kids. I like going to places where adults are, and Key West is certainly a place like that. So that's a very cool thing, and that's one of the reasons why we love going to Key West so much. So very cool stuff. We've got... I'm going to drink like I do always, but I don't have a cork pop here. I've got a screw top. I've got Jack Daniel's Distillery, their Sweet Mash. So again, this is part of their distillery series, available mostly in the gift shop. I do think they do some limited release on it, but it is, in fact, a screw top. So cheers, gang. All right. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, I'm going to be picking up the laptop here, and we're going to be going through some bourbon news. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
This is Lenny Eckstein, and to set the record straight, I am a vegan, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
All right, let's see what we got here when it comes to bourbon news. The first thing you do is I put bourbon in Google, and it gets some of these fake bottles and stuff like that that looks like they sell. So the one that I'm looking at here is clearly a Crown Royal bottle. It says Highmark Stadium, farewell season, Orchard Park, New York. And then it's got a Blanton's topper on it. There is no way you could order this and get that. No way. This is a scam website. It's one of their sponsored sites. Again, this is all AI generated, and they just rip you off. So be wary of that stuff. We've had people come in here to the shop and wonder, do we carry these decanters or can we get it in and that type of stuff? And it's just a scam. There's no way that Sazerac's letting anybody utilize those Blanton toppers. So don't fall for it, folks. That's just a little free PSA there. All right, now I'm going to click on the news button, see what news is out there. High West announces limited cask strength bourbon. So 117 proof. Master distiller Isaac Winters, new creation, and a nice age statement here, between 6 and 20 years. So that is a 6-year age statement, but you've got some older stuff in there to impact the flavor profile. Sounds interesting, and be on the lookout for that one, again, from High West. Looks like it's just under the name High West, and it's High West cask strength. Rebel Bourbon brings back their root beer, so there you go. That's exciting stuff. If you're into flavored whiskeys, if I had to go into a flavored whiskey, I think root beer would probably be as good as any. You can put it on ice cream maybe. That would be the most likely thing to create a boozy milkshake. That would be good. Other flavors, I'm trying to think. I typically like cherry, but cherry and whiskey. I like cherry notes on a whiskey, but flavored cherry where it's like super sweet, nah. So I don't know, root beer doesn't sound bad. So that's Rebel's got that. If you're into that, it's coming back. I guess it's been around before. Pennsylvania's holding their rare whiskey lottery. Hopefully that goes smoothly. I did click on this one just to check it out. I saw that Pappy Van Winkle, they have an article on VinePair, how it became the ultimate cult bourbon. Critique here. While it is put together, and I think the story's correct. It talks about Julian Van Winkle and the history. He bought some Stitzel-Weller stuff, so he had some really good whiskey. He had a great base to start a brand. He bought out a old distillery that was shuttered, and he utilized that to bottle. All that's true. That's correct in the article here. And then it talks about how he submitted it to that tasting institute that grades him. He got a 99, and that certainly put him on the radar. And then a mention by Anthony Bourdain on one of his shows. I think that's the story. There's probably other small contributors to that as well. To get to the level that they're at, it doesn't happen just from one or two things. So I think it's well written, but I also don't think there's anything new in there. I think that would be my critique of the article. This article's been written 100 times already, so it's a pretty lazy reporting style, if you ask me, if you're not bringing anything new to the table. Or why not just republish something? Be like, here's the best of, and here's this. So that was on VinePair. Let's see, what else here? It talks about the award-winning distillery that is on a floating rickhouse, and the fact that they're going to be open for tours now. So that's Ingram Distillery in Kentucky. Looks like there's one here from Forbes, Albert Blanton, Buffalo Trace, and the birth of a single barrel bourbon. I'll have to check that one out. That actually sounds pretty interesting. Hopefully, let's see who did this here. If we know the author, Joseph V. Micallef. Nope, I don't know him. But yeah, looks like it's worth reading quite a bit there. So there's certainly some effort put into it. So yeah, I'll check that one out. Where to buy an empty bourbon or whiskey barrel? I would say Facebook Marketplace is a great place to start, by the way, if you want to skip that article there. Some whiskey reviews of Handy and Sazerac Rye. 9 standout bourbons crowned at New Orleans Spirits Competition. When I think of spirits competitions, I think of the New Orleans Bourbon Festival. That is not that. So that's interesting. I guess that's I don't know if it's new, but I certainly haven't heard of the Spirits Festival down there before. Rough Rider, the Happy Warrior. Rough Rider's been around a little while now. So, Bourbon and Bacon Fest returns to Greenville. I don't know if I've just always heard of this or there's a lot of Bourbon and Bacon Fests out there, but I've certainly heard of Bourbon and Bacon Fest before. What else we got? DTPC announces Bourbon and Chocolate Experience, the Downtown Tip City Partnership, a Bourbon and Chocolate Experience. I don't know what that is, and I don't feel like clicking on it. Win a chance at a 450 bottle of whiskey. They're talking about the Pennsylvania Lottery here, and 1,434 bottles it says on there, so... All right. Three Chord has a strange collaboration featuring a Pinot Noir finished bourbon. Wow, that was way tougher than it should be. I'm sure I'll get some trouble about that. Pinot Noir. Sorry about that, folks. More Three Chord. They got a good, maybe they got a new PR person. A couple articles there. Bluegrass. Tournaments of Roses, Toasted Oak Bourbon Review. Okay. Harry Truman's favorite bourbon brand, still popular today. So talks about he likes Wild Turkey 101 and Old Grandad in there. Again, same thing I would say about the other one. I'm glad that they're keeping Harry Truman and his love for bourbon in the news, but nothing new there at all. So that would be an easy article to write if you got to sign that. All right. Let's see. Let's get one more good one here. Lots of crashes in bourbon counties and all kinds of stuff. Casey Jones Distillery to be sold. Okay, I didn't know this. This is breaking news, so here you go. The decision to sell the business came roughly 2 years after the distillery broke ground on a $2 million expansion. So Casey Jones, capacity of 3,000 barrels. Husband and wife A.J. Jones and Peg Hayes and a partner, Cody Turner, have agreed to sell the Whitty Lane Facebook post. B3 Beverage Company, owned by Joey and Abby Farrar, have acquired Casey Jones. Let's see if that says anything else in here. Started in 2014. Does not say a price or anything like that. And of course, it's a privately held business, so we probably will never know that. But that is very interesting. So I got some scoop here. I hadn't heard that, so interesting stuff. I've had some interactions with AJ and Peg through the years, and never been to the distillery or anything like that. But I've definitely talked to them for some different things that I've done. So hopefully, it's a decision that wasn't financial related. They just decided they wanted to retire, found a buyer, and there you go. That's kind of the dream, right? You have a business till you're ready not to be in business anymore. Let someone else take it over and keep it going, and you become part of that business's legacy. So pretty cool stuff. So there you go. On that note, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find me. I am on all social media platforms at Steve Akeley. We have a website for the company. It's abvnetwork.com. Check that out. All of our content's out there. Our YouTube page is Bourbon Sasquatch. Got a lot of content out there, literally a daily video. So sign up for that so you never miss one of those videos. And also check out abvbarrelshop.com. That's where all the information is about the ABV Barrel Shop. And if you're ever here in St. Louis, come by and see me, the place where you can try before you buy. Please, there's a couple things we'd like you to do that if you're listening to this. It's a kind of a minimum quality standard to meet if you enjoy the show. Please give us a 5-star review with comments. It helps new people find the show. That's important to us. And last but not least, if you like what we're doing and you want to get involved, head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. That'll do it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.